keep it down here right now because it's easier, like with Valerie is here, so we just decided to make it all the same for everybody.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, not that I'm aware of. It could be.
She's the only one I forget.
All right. Good morning, my beloveds. Good morning. As we are living in the expression of revealing our wholeness, self-care, we're touching on that place of that we call work, which I call the wholeness opportunity of right kinship with self. So in this revealing of wholeness this morning, I'm just going to read 2 quotes before we go into a deep meditation. Matthew Fox, in his book, The Reinvention of Work, says, "A world where our personal and professional lives are celebrated in harmony. A world where the self is not sacrificed by authentic soul work." He is referring to Thomas Aquinas' quote, which says, "To live well is to work well." Matthew Fox also says, "The new emphasis is upon the soul, the expression of our inner being. Work is closely linked with creativity, relationship, community, compassion, justice, and the great work of the universe." In the Science of Mind text, Ernest Holmes says, "Spirit works for us by working through us. The thing itself then works for us by working through us and is us always. It cannot work for us in any other way. It spreads itself over the whole universe and shouts at us from every angle. But it can become power to us only when we recognize its power." All right, as we take a deep breath, let us relax, get quiet. As we start to let go and feel that unconditional love of that universal spirit as it cascades through our bodies like a waterfall, just flowing down and cascading through the side of a mountainside. That flow that just washes through us. As it gently and softly touches our skin. With every gentle drop of the very essence of this power and this nature. We feel it tingling. And we feel the love bumps as it hits every fiber, cell, and tissue of our skin. And as we deeply go into that place inside of our hearts, we know without a shadow of a doubt that we are always connected. That this power, this essence, is always awake 24/7. For it is what it does. It is the work that it does. It embraces us. It loves us. It is that joy inside of our hearts that bubbles up each time that we remember that we are always, always at work, and that it is always conspiring for our highest good. For that is what it does. Each and every moment of the day. So as we make this connection and we allow it to be, we start in that place where it all begins, in our mind. At this moment, as we relax further in within ourselves, we just let go of any thoughts. Let them go. Let them float into that nothingness in which spirit lives. Whatever thoughts might be trying to hold on there, just let them go. We're not going to label them, for we know they're just thoughts. We might sometimes even need to say, okay, I'm good, thought. Just walk away. And let's just take this time now to fill that space with good thoughts. Again, not labeling, but with God thoughts. I am whole. I am healthy. I am well. I am love. I am compassion. I am the laughter of the universe. I am that delicious energy that just lives through me. I am enough. I am the light of the world. Oh, those beautiful thoughts. I am the vision of life itself. For I am that I am. As we take a moment to just feel all those beautiful words And we might have others. Say yes to them. Yes to those lovely words. So now in the imagination of, how do these words make me feel? What are my emotions when I hear these words? These beautiful, beautiful words. Oh, yes. Yes, I am going to smile. They make me feel good. These words make my heart pitter-patter. They embrace my emotions. They embrace things that are right now, at this moment, outside of me. But in the stillness of it, I will know. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. That I am God in full expression. Oh, my emotions feel so beautiful. As we feel this emotional energy vibrating through this community right now. Let's pause for a moment. And feel those emotions just, again, flowing through us. Those beautiful, beautiful emotions. And yes, the journey is within. The journey is spiritual. And what does that mean? That the journey is spiritual. It is spiritual because we are spiritual beings living in a spiritual world governed by a spiritual law. The law that says, yes, yes, you are my beloved. So in this place of love and spiritual essence, we just gently and slowly bring ourselves back to this freedom of a place where we have soared mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and land in the here and now, in this moment, as we wiggle our toes, knowing that we are whole, we are love, and we are always, always connected to that one mind and one presence and one power. And we say yes, yes, yes. And so it is. Namaste. Namaste. Namaste.
So the service is going to be starting in about 12 minutes at 10:30. You're welcome to, if there's coffee out there, grab some water, chat, mingle. We'll see you back here in 12 minutes.
Christ. And good morning to one and all, wherever you may be. And this is the Center for Spiritual Living in Cape Coral, Florida. And we have one heck of a band over here who's just going to take it away.
Good morning. All right. Well, we all know how it works up here. We want you all to stand with us. We got some great music today. Our weekly theme is Failing Forward. And these songs we have today were actually recommended with the theme. So these are definitely sing-along songs and dance with us songs. And we're going to start with the beautiful Colette.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow.
Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
To borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you don't let it show.
You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Oh, it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry,
If you need a friend, call me.
Oh yeah, call me.
If you need a friend,
Call me. Yes,
if you
call
need
me.
a friend,
Call me. Oh, call me. Call me. Call me. Call me. Very nice.
Yes, yes, yes. Hearing those woo-hoos out there. Let's give them a big round of applause once again. The Big Love Band. Call on me, indeed, indeed. Well, welcome to you. I'm John Coriel. I'm one of the spiritual practitioners here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Cape Coral, Florida. And this morning, Adelia Romero is holding the high watch for our celebration, and that is that she is maintaining a high consciousness through meditation, realizing wholeness for the community, and the highest and best for attendees of a service, that's all of us, and the guest speaker also. So we have a search going on right now. Many of you probably are already aware of that, for a new minister, and we have come up with a how should we say, phrase, a saying that comes to our minds. Here at CSL, before we do that, let's say that we believe that we attract that which we are. So join us in affirming our vision statement for both yourself and for our new minister. If you'll read it as it says it there, it does, doesn't it? I am an energetic, creative, dynamic, charismatic leader who is fun, loving, and kind. A teacher and administrator who inspires our community to greater spiritual heights, prosperity, and joy. And that is we are affirming that for ourselves, and so that we draw that into us. And this now is very similar, but it speaks directly to that minister. If you'll join me. I am so happy and grateful that our new minister is an energetic, creative, dynamic, charismatic leader who is fun, loving, and kind. A teacher and administrator who inspires our community to greater spiritual heights, clarity, and joy. And we have more music right now. Oh, good, good, good.
All right, well, this is another one that you're welcome to stand up and sing with us. I think a lot of you know this lovely, fun song. Listen as your day unfolds, challenge what the future holds, try to keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tease, go ahead, release your fears, stand up and be counted, don't be ashamed to cry. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser, you gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger, you gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know, love will save the day. And what your mother said, read the books your father read, try to solve the puzzles in your own sweet time. Some may have more cash than you, others take a different view. But oh my, Try to keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tears. Go ahead, release your fears. My, oh my, yeah. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know, love will save the day. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wise. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know, love will save the day. Got to be bold, got to be bad, got to be wise. Don't ever say, got to be hard, not too hard. All I know is love will save the day. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know, love will save the day. All I know, love will save the day. Very good. Oh my gosh.
Oh my, that is good stuff, huh? Woohoo! Yeah. Well, we have this time to stand, if you will, if you already are, and welcome and bestow this blessing upon one another. And you can raise your hands up and just let that good energy out there as we repeat together. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. We know who you truly are. You are the spiritual image and likeness of God. We appreciate you, we love you, and we are thankful that you are here. Welcome to the center. Yes. And there's more music, and not only that, but, pardon? Oh, amen. All right. More good music and some surprises, too.
Yes, we have a guest musician today. Woo! So give us some love. And also feel free to dance, because that's what this song is asking you all to do. I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. Get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. choice to sit it out or dance.
Wow, thank you, Big Love Band. That's awesome. And thank you, Don Bauer, for being the guest playing the flute. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Okay, so my turn here today to do the reading. And today, well, let's say this year it's Living Everyday Wonder. And this monthly theme is work. And then this weekly topic today is failing forward. So I chose a couple of readings here. The first one is pretty much like a summary of today's topic. And it goes like this: our unique perspective finds its origin in all of the lessons that life has taught us. From those lessons, we determine what is good, bad, and what works or doesn't work. Thus, we can look at failure as a negative event or as an opportunity to go into a new direction. The new perspectives, considerations, ideas, revelations, and insights that become available through so-called failure are amazing if we are willing to trust and lean into wonder. Wonder invites us to create positive change. As long as there is reason to move, grow, and shift, there is a potential for the ongoing search of purpose, passion, and the larger contribution to society. And I also took another reading out of, let's see here, the 365 Science of Mind. And this is a daily reading for the whole year. We do have this out in the bookstore if anyone's interested in looking into purchasing this. It's got great daily readings. I chose one that's not for today, but it really goes towards this failing forward daily message that we have here. And it is titled, I Know That Life Responds to Me. The law of life operates through your affirmation. Nothing can hinder its working but yourself. There is no more of it, with a capital I, on the desert than there is on the busiest street corner. And it, with a capital I, will not respond any more quickly because we go up in the temple. It is everywhere, therefore, it is where you are. And most of all, it responds to where you recognize it. Your recognition makes possible its response through you. This is the secret of faith. Faith is the supreme affirmation. It is the unconditioned affirmation. It is the affirmation that makes all things possible to the one who believes in the power of God. Know that nothing can hinder you but yourself. If you believe that you can, you can. You cannot fail if you start with the proposition that life, with a capital L, is all there is. It is the substance of every form, and as the invisible, it is the cause. As the visible, it is the effect. Let me read that last. As the invisible, it is the cause, and as the visible, it is the effect. Okay, so I'll take this into prayer, but before that, I would like to um, do the part here where we are now changing things a little bit, and we're bringing into your mind and your heart the silent moment of bringing in somebody that you may have, or a situation that you want to enter into this silence. And right before we go into this silence, I'd like to read a short reading, and we will take it into 10 minutes, 10 seconds of silence. So as you want to close your eyes, center yourself, and bring to mind that situation, that person, whatever it may be, and just know that surely the presence of God is in this place. And I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. And I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see the glory on each face. And surely the presence of God is in this place. So taking this into prayer. And we know that prayers are answered before they were even spoken. And all is well. So if you'd like more prayer around what you are praying for, what you are feeling, please bring yourself up to the front at the end of service, and we will have the 1-minute miracles with the practitioners up here, licensed practitioners, to do that 1-minute miracle prayer. Taking this into prayer right now, knowing that God is all, God is good, God is everywhere, and knowing that I am that one with God, just as each and every single one here today is that expression of God. And those that are also watching online, that expression is the example of the divine that comes through each and every one of us. We tap into that source, we tap into that sacred space in the heart, knowing that it is all possible. Keeping that positive affirmation at all times, knowing that what the thought is, what we think, we manifest through that divine power. And that divine power always says yes, yes, yes. And knowing that we keep this positive affirmation going through as often as possible, we know that beautiful things will just come out into this world right here, right now. And being in that present moment, I give gratitude, and I anchor this into the divine law, and together we can say, and so it is. And now, my great pleasure to introduce to you and welcome our interim minister, Reverend Gregory Toole, all the way from California on Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen, and thanks to all of you. We say there's no time or space in God. So in reality, we're all in the same place. We're all in the same vibration. We're all in God. We're all just present in this timeless, transcendent reality. And so in reality, we're all right here. We're all right here, and we're all right here and now. What a pleasure it is to be with you this morning. How's everyone doing this morning? You got to be doing great with the Big Love Band just rocking it, and John and Karen and the person on holding vigil, holding space for us. Thanks to everyone that makes the service what it is, including all of you sitting in the seats. We all make this what it is. We're all co-creating this. Your energy, your vibration contributes to what unfolds here, including from me, from all the way in California. I feel you, and that energy that I feel from you contributes to what comes through me, because it's all one and it's all God. So we're talking about a thing called failure today. Anyone ever failed before? Raise your hand if you've ever failed before. And if you're not raising your hand, you're not trying it hard enough. If you try hard enough, you will fail eventually. But we have to redefine this word failure. We have to redefine it because we've created a negative connotation for failure. Failure is kind of inevitable if we're really putting ourselves out there and we're really stretching ourselves into the unlimited possibilities and potentiality that we are. Failure is inevitable, but we've defined failure as a negative thing, as a permanent thing sometimes, whereas failure is really, the dictionary says that failure is the absence of success. I would say that it would only be the absence of success in a temporary way at best, and more accurately, we could say that failure is simply a stepping stone towards success. That's what failure really is. It's a stepping stone towards success. Every time I've ever so-called failed, I've learned so much and I've grown so much and I've gotten feedback. Failures also could be considered the universe's feedback mechanism to us. It's like, no, not that. And so then we go, oh, not that. Then it must be this. And then we fail again, maybe. And go, oh, well, not quite that, but this. And then we fail these steps. We fail. The topic today is called failing forward, right? It's feedback from the universe. You never actually fail in the sense that we have defined that word, right? There's a song by Ricky Byers, no mistakes have been made in God. All the ways that we seem to fail, they all fade into God. God knows no failure. Ernest Holmes says that we should declare every day that no mistakes have been made, no mistakes are being made, and none can be made. How about that? No mistakes have been made, none are being made, and none can be made. You cannot make a mistake. You cannot fail in the sense of how we have defined failure. Now, you can fail in this new definition, which is, it means it's a stepping stone towards your success. That's all that failure is. And, I was looking for examples online about failure and people who have been considered a failure. Have anyone ever tell you you're not good enough at something, you're a failure, you'll never do this, you'll never do that? Anyone have that feedback? Anyone have someone say, and then maybe some of you, the very thing people said you'd never be good at, and you're a failure and you're this and that, you went and proved them wrong and you succeeded at it anyway. Well, you're in good company, because Ariana Huffington got rejected by 36 publishers when she first wanted to create her first book. So she was 36 major publishers rejected her, and long before she took over or became recognizable as the leader of the Huffington Post empire, 36 times she was rejected. And then, so I'm sure there were people who just said to her, hey, you just don't have the right stuff, Ariana. Maybe you should go into something else. Maybe publishing, writing, all of that. Maybe that's not your thing, right? Now, suppose she were to have listened. Now, that's failure. When you actually listen to what other people tell you that you can't do. And you say, God can't do what? God can do it all through you, as you, and you are the divine in expression. So we don't listen to those voices. We listen to that inner voice. We listen to that voice that says, here's feedback, here's feedback, here's feedback. And we adjust and we learn and we grow and we figure it out. When I first took on at 25, at the ripe age of 25, I was in a tech kind of like startup in Pennsylvania, actually, where I grew up, and a software company, very fast growing. And so I got promoted pretty quickly. At 25, I was already in management, and I was terrible at it. I certainly failed at it, being a leader, being a manager. I failed miserably. All that I knew about being a manager is what I saw in like my household, and my mom would just crack the whip. If you didn't do it right, she just cracked the whip. Hey. And that's what I learned about leadership. So I got into leadership in this company, and if people weren't doing what I thought they should do, I became very harsh and really came down on them really hard. And, it didn't work very well. Really backfired, and I was not getting good feedback. It just was not good. It was not pretty at all. And then I started to learn from that, and I started to seek out, if this isn't the way, then what is the way? And I found a book that was really popular at the time called In Search of Excellence, which profiled, I think it was 10 companies that were highly successful. And they went into those cultures and they said, what makes these companies so successful? And what makes their leaders so successful? And I learned about Hewlett Packard Company and the HP way, as they used to call it, and all these modern management and leadership techniques. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is opening my eyes to a whole different world. Right? So, so called failure was a stepping stone toward learning and growth and evolution. Then I manifested a mentor who became my manager, who was 8 years older than me and had been a captain in the Air Force and had access to all kinds of leadership training through that. And he started sharing with me and mentoring me and mentoring me. We would talk about different situations that would come up with staff and all that sort of thing. So I got all this help. And those were my early development. That was my early development as a leader that I give thanks for this to this day, right? Leading in spiritual community, which arguably can be some of the most difficult leadership that there is because the expectation is so high. The expectation is even higher of spiritual leaders than it is of people in corporations. So, how grateful I am for failing, so called failing forward. Right? I failed forward. I did it in a way that was not effective in order to learn what was effective. So, it's about what we call it, it's about how we define it, right? If we allow those circumstances to define us and say, oh, that means I'm no good, that means I can't do this, right? People say that all the time. One of my tennis coaches says, I tell him I do yoga, and he says, oh, I tried yoga, I can't do that. You don't become good at yoga the first time you try it. They call it a practice, and you get in there and you practice and you practice, and the next thing you know, you're starting to, get some proficiency or mastery with some of the poses. Yes, so much of life is like that, where we fail forward. We learn through our so-called mistakes, but then we realize there really are no mistakes. The principle we're really talking about in Science of Mind today is that this is a universe of wholeness, allness, oneness. That spirit is a transcendent, perfect whole that, in its infinite inclusivity, harmoniously embraces all seeming opposites. Divine perfection. Whenever we're declaring anything to be other than divinely perfect, then we can know we're off track. When we're in judgment of others, we're in judgment of ourselves. We think we're not good enough or someone else isn't good enough. And always when we say someone else isn't good enough, it's always pointing right back to us. Whenever we're saying, oh, that person's not good enough, that's us feeling not good enough about ourselves. So we can recognize that. We can stop pointing the finger outward and realize, oh, I need to tend to myself a little bit here. I'm feeling inadequate. I'm feeling not enough. And then we can come into ourselves and declare, I am enough. I do enough. I have enough. I am enough. I do enough. I have enough. Right? And we can come into that space. Let's go into that space now. Are you willing to repeat this affirmation with me? Please repeat after me if you're willing. I am enough. I can't hear you, but I'm trusting you're saying it. I do enough. I have enough. We'll come back to that later. This is a powerful affirmation. So many, Louise Hay, in writing her book, How to Heal Your Life, and she was a master at all of this and was trained in science of mind, trained in religious science, ultimately now Centers for Spiritual Living. She was trained by us and she wrote all these beautiful books, the most popular of which I believe is You Can Heal Your Life, that has all the health conditions and what their metaphysical component is, what the metaphysical cause is behind these health conditions. Because everything Spirit is always first cause. Everything is about what we believe, our thinking, our vibration, our emotional state, our state of being. It's be, do, have. That's how it all unfolds. It starts with our state of being, and then through our state of being, we do more. We're moved into right action, and right action takes place all around us, and then we have something different. Be, do, have. That's the order of how this works. Oftentimes we do the opposite. We're trying to have without changing our state of being, or we're trying to do without changing our state of being. So we change our state of being, change our consciousness, we change how we're looking at life and how we're feeling about life. And then from there, we start with the doing. And then from there, we manifest the having. If we don't deal with the be, that first one, if we don't deal with the be, how we be, then everything is built on a house of, on a foundation of sand, right? We want to build our house on a foundation of solid bedrock. And the solid bedrock is the consciousness that we establish in the building of whatever it is that we're building. So be, do, have. And so we're talking about oneness, we're talking about divine perfection, right? So because all is divinely perfect, that means there can't be any mistakes. There can't be any failures. Everything is being used by this infinite intelligence toward our individual and collective evolution toward the greater and greater and greater expression of who we are. Turn to someone, if you will, and say, I have never failed. Not in the sense of how we define the word fail, right? But now if we redefine the word fail as a stepping stone toward our success, we can say, hey, by the way, I'm failing forward. I'm failing my way forward. We may not want to declare that. I don't know, because the word failure has so much negative energy around it. But we might want to start redefining that word for ourselves. Whenever someone says you're a failure, you say, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I'm failing my way all the way up the ladder to great success. We get to redefine these words. They're just what we make of them. Holmes said also that we are bound by nothing except belief. We are bound by nothing except belief. And that's, we really, we did that whole thing, if you remember, old stories, new stories, a lot of fun, right? We went through what are all the old stories that we tell ourselves at the center. And then we created some new stories. And we said, these are the stories we want to tell because this is what we want to create. The stories that we tell, the beliefs that we have is what creates our reality. So we said, we don't want to tell those old stories anymore because we don't want to experience what they say. So we created new stories. And then we started to experience them. Do you notice that you're experiencing these new stories now? Who notices that right now in this community, you are literally experiencing the new stories that we created, I don't know, a year ago or so? You are living them now. And that's the way this teaching works. You start to create a new story, you start to tell a new story, you start to shift the belief, how you're looking at your life, how you're looking at the world, how you're looking at situations and circumstances, and everything changes. Be, do, have. Start with the being. Start with the consciousness. Start with what you believe. Not what you say you believe, but at the core of your being, what do you actually believe? We have to get at some of those hidden beliefs. That, well, at the core, I actually believe I'm inadequate. I actually believe I'm not enough. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, because that's the starting point to believing you are okay. That's the starting point to believing you are adequate, that you are more than adequate, that you are the divine in expression, and you were meant for success. I never followed Reverend Ike. He was a little bit before my time. He was very popular in the 1970s, apparently. But I would hear of him because, he had a very similar teaching to the science of mind. He called his science of life, I believe. And he was very big in New York. He would speak to thousands. He had a radio program all across the country. He was on TV. He became a personality and sort of like a controversial personality because he preached a lot about prosperity and materiality and that you don't need to be poor. And so he got labeled as like a prosperity whatever, and that took on from a religious spiritual point of view like a negative connotation, especially because he probably lived a very prosperous life himself. So it's like, oh, why is this preacher living a prosperous life? But he taught that we're not supposed to be poor. We're supposed to have all of our needs met and exceeded. And so I was looking at Reverend Ike had the reason that he came to me, and I went and watched one of his videos, and he's kind of flashy. He was an African American man who very successful and very flashy in how he presented himself, but a lot of flair, like not flashy just to be flashy. He had a lot of flair, a lot of style, And I was just watching him, but he had this line that was really popular, and that's what caused me to look him up because that line popped into my mind that I had heard attributed to him that said, "You can't lose with the stuff I use." And that reminded me of how we can't make any mistakes. We can't truly fail in the way we've defined failure. And so it's like, yes, you can't lose with the stuff I use. You can't lose with the science of mind. You can't lose with the be, do, have. You can't lose if you're shifting your state of consciousness to something different. Once you shift your state of consciousness to something different, then your life has to change. It's a law, it's a principle. So within, so without. We shift that within, the without has to change. So often we're doing the window dressing. We're trying to change the outer. We're trying to change what we have all the way at the other end, or we're trying to change what we do, change our habits in the middle end. And we didn't start from the beginning. We didn't shift our consciousness. We didn't shift what we believe. We didn't shift what we're aligning with vibrationally. So we have to have that shift in the being. Otherwise, again, we're building our house, we're building on a foundation of sand. And we say, well, how come I keep doing this and I go up and down and up and down? You got to have that foundation. You got to work at that foundation level. I am enough. I do enough. I have enough. We have to have that belief, that consciousness. Now we're building our house on a foundation of solid bedrock. And from there, we can build and build and build, and it's solid and it expands and it expands. And it's not a one-time deal. We continuously go back to consciousness. This is why we do our spiritual practice every day. We start off our day in silence. We start off our day in meditation. We start off our day communing with the source of it all, the presence of God at the center of our own being and all around us. We start off communing with that. We start off recognizing who we truly are. Anything that we say we are, or that we say anyone else is, that is not about divine perfection, that is not about wholeness, that is not about abundance and goodness, is not the truth. So we start off in the truth. We start off in the being. Every morning, start off in the being. Don't start off in the doing. Don't start off in trying to have something. Start every day in the being. How am I, not just what am I going to do today, not just what am I going to try to get today, who am I going to be today? How am I going to be today? What am I going to be today? What is the vibration I'm going to carry into this day? From there, you're getting a really great start to your day. You are establishing an intention, like I'm going to live an abundant, prosperous life today. I'm going to live a life of love. I'm going to live from so much love today. I'm going to live from so much light today. I'm going to live from so much expansiveness today. I'm going to live from so much possibility today. Gosh, can you feel that? If I start my day that way, if you start your day that way, whew, you can't lose with the stuff I use. You can say that to yourself. You can get up in the morning, get into that state of being that you are choosing and say, I can't lose with the stuff I use. Let's do a Reverend Ike this morning. If you were willing to say it with me, say, I can't lose with the stuff I use. Tell someone, I can't lose with the stuff I use. And it's true. It's true. You can't. You're in a universe of infinite intelligence. You're in a universe that is for you and not against you. There is nothing against you in this universe. Everything in this universe is for you. Everything in this universe is God. You are God. Everything is for you and nothing is against you. You can't lose with the stuff you use. You're practicing the science of mind. You're practicing the science of life. You're practicing this teaching that says, I am one with the infinite. And that's true. It is true. You can't lose with the stuff you use. There's others who have gone on, by the way, who George Steinbrenner, the owner of the Yankees, who one of the most storied franchises in Major League Baseball ever. The Yankees and the Dodgers are like the top ever. And George Steinbrenner first took on a basketball team, and he bankrupted the basketball team. Then when he took on the New York Yankees baseball team, he was running them into the ground financially, so to speak, right? And everyone's like, "Oh boy, here this guy goes again. This is who he is, right?" Don't you think that at that time they started to define him? It's like, okay, wait, he bankrupted a basketball team that he tried to start. Now he's running a Major League Baseball team, and they're going in the hole. All indications are that they're really failing financially. Don't you think people started to define him and go, "Oh yeah, this guy George Steinbrenner, he's a real winner. Look at him running things into the ground left and right. He'll never be anything." Fortunately for him, he didn't believe that. So now he failed forward. He failed his way forward. He learned from all of that so that he became not only successful, but one of the most successful major league sports teams ever. The guy who I'm sure people were writing off. And he could have written himself off. He could have listened to all of them and said, wow, they're right. I'm no good at this. I better find another profession. Instead, he failed his way forward. He used that to learn, to grow. He looked at it. I'm sure, I don't know him, but based on the results, I'm sure he looked at all of that as feedback from the universe. It's like, okay, if this isn't the way to do it, then let me try this. Okay, well, then if this isn't the way, let me try this. And you do that enough times, and it doesn't matter if you get, like, if you're Ariana Huffington and you get turned down by 36 publishers. It doesn't matter because you learned and you evolved and you grew in the process, and now you're a great success. Or like George Steinbrenner, who ran one organization financially into the ground and bankrupted them and appeared as if he was going to do it again, but then became one of the most successful sports franchise owners ever. Walt Disney, you know what he was told? Walt Disney was told he was not creative. Hey, well, you got a lot of good skills. You're a good guy, but you're not creative. Maybe try something else. Maybe try something that doesn't require creativity, Walt Disney. Isn't that amazing? The Walt Disney who created all of this programming, he was told, you're not creative. How often have you been told you're not this, you're not that, you're not good enough at this? How often have you believed it and bought into it yourself and allowed that to define you? What if you declare that today you're done with all that? Today, you are defining yourself. If there's anything that's been called failure in your life, you're defining it as a mere stepping stone toward your greatness. And your greatness, and your greatness, and your greatness, and your greater greatness. And any way that you appear to be failing right now, feedback so you can evolve and so you can grow. So I want to close here today by just inviting you to redefine that word failure. Redefine it altogether, right? Redefine that as a stepping stone towards your success. Let go of any idea that you have made mistakes, that you are making mistakes, or that you ever shall make mistakes. There are no mistakes in God. There is only divine perfection, infinite intelligence, taking everything and allowing it to evolve us into the greater and the greater and the greater. You are a success. Let us say one more time, if you're willing, I am enough. I do enough. I have enough. It is true. You are awesome. If you are failing your way forward to great, great success. Thank you so much for listening. Let us take this into prayer. And so we just know together right now exactly what I've been talking about here. Divine perfection, that all of life is one infinite wholeness, one perfection, one infinite life, love, intelligence, infinitely present at every point of existence, present at the very point of existence that is me. At the very center of my being and encompassing my entire being is the presence of God. And not only is this true of me, it is true of every person who is watching, who is listening, who is present in the sanctuary, and it is true of every person who concerns us. Each one a unique way that divine is expressing. It is the only thing that is happening. God is, and all is well. And so it is in this consciousness that I speak my word today, and I declare and know that all sense of failure and the old sense of defining it is dissolved. And we are now knowing that we are continuously evolving, growing, expanding into the greater and greater, regardless of any appearances. To the contrary, we can't lose with the stuff we use. I bless each one. I rejoice in each one's continuous evolution into the greater and the greater success. Success defined simply as expressing the fullness of God right where we are, right here, right now. I am grateful. I release this. I let it be. We establish it together with the words. And so it is. Thank you. And before we jump into our conscious giving time, I want to just do a brief acknowledgement of Fran Winslow. Fran, you are Volunteer of the Month. And you do so much. You could be the volunteer every month, except for there are others who do great work too. Today, we are acknowledging you, Fran, for all that you do and all that you be, the way that you transform the Usher Greeter Corps, the way that you show up, the way that you're so conscientious in all that you do and be. We thank you. That parking space out there for October is yours for the whole month. Thank you so much, Fran. We acknowledge you. We thank you. And I know that everyone will give you a nice hug and congratulations and thank you for all that you do and be for the center. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would have called Fran up, but I know she's not big on getting too much attention. So I'm going to do our conscious giving time. Our ushers are coming forward. Maybe they already have. And we go into our conscious giving time, and we'll just, there are so many different ways for you to give. You can text tithe at 239-320-3820. You can send your contribution through PayPal at CSLCapeCoral.org. You can also just go to the website, hit donate at CSLCapeCoral.org. You can also do it the old-fashioned way. Put your contribution in the mail, put a check in the mail, Center for Spiritual Living, Cape Coral, 406 Southeast 24th Avenue, Cape Coral, Florida, 33990. You can go to Amazon Smile, just do it one time, select Center for Spiritual Living, Cape Coral as your charity of choice, and then every time you make a purchase at Amazon, a little bit will go to the center. It's that easy. Go ahead and do it. And for those of you in person, the ushers will be coming around in a moment, and we're going to say our affirmation together, and then the ushers will go forward to do the collection, and we'll hear during that time from our big love band. So let us do our affirmation together. Today, I know the activity of divine abundance is at work in my life and the life of the center. I give and receive generously as I live.
Standing as one in the presence of
Thank you, Big Love Band, and thanks to all of you for the ways that you give to the center. The center is prospering, and ultimately prospering means it is fulfilling its purpose of transforming lives, and you are making that happen. Thank you so much for the ways that you generously give and allow the center to keep on moving forward and stepping into its greater and greater yet to be. We bless these offerings. We give thanks knowing that they go forward and do such great works in the world, and then they return right on back to us because there is that divine law of circulation, and so it is. Amen.
I'm going to step up here just for a moment before John comes up for the announcements. I would like to announce here that with the hurricane possibly coming, we just want to be prepared. And if anybody who is able and physically able to bring in some of the chairs through these sliding glass doors at the end of service, Phyllis, if you'd mind opening those doors at the end of the service. And then anybody who can, so we don't have one person bringing everything in this week. We just want to be prepared. So I just would like to ask you if you could possibly do that. Appreciate it.
Well, let's see what's going on around the area. It says, please check your email, pick up a flyer in the lobby, or visit our website at csl.cslcapecoral.org to register for any of the upcoming classes and stuff that's coming up that we're going to tell you about right here and right now. You can join us immediately following service today for our monthly community meeting. Bringing your questions, comments, anything that is on your mind, and suggestions for Reverend Gregory and our leadership councils. That'll be going on immediately following service here. And today is October 1st, or Saturday, October 1st, 11 a.m., not today. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the first meeting of our Joy Fun Club. You can join us as we create a new group composed of spiritual fun seekers, and that should be some fun, huh? Oh boy. Coming up, let's see. Patty Carney is a Reiki master and teacher, and she will be holding a distance Reiki session for the first Tuesday of every month, and she has been doing that and will continue to do that. And October 4th is the next one from 6:30 to 8 p.m. You can visit our calendar on our website and register there, and it's offered on a love donation basis. Next up, we have Come Fun Play With Us, Friday, October 14th. From 7 to 9 p.m., you can bring your favorite game and play one that we have in hand, too. We have some games here, and should be a lot of fun. Light snacks and drinks are provided, $5 suggested love donation for that. Spookular Soiree, Saturday, October 29th. Boy, that month of October is full, isn't it? The 5 to 9 p.m. is when it's going to be going on. You can join us for an evening of dancing, food, fun, entertainment, and the Girlfriends Band. Seems like they've been here before, some long time ago, but they are good, yes, indeed. And tickets are just $20 in advance, $30 at the door. Sacred service opportunity and raffle items are needed. So if you know of some raffle items, you can bring those in. Contact Melissa Tuff to see how you can help out there. Spiritual Principles and Practices is one of the classes that is taught here at the center. And that's going to be coming up. You can discover proven practices that bring spiritual principles into action in your life, and you can manifest a desired goal or intention. So the methods that are now being used, now you can begin to see results in your life from that. So mark that down. It's starting soon. We don't have a specific date as yet for that. And miracles. Don't leave with something heavy on your heart. If it's something going on in your life, our practitioners will be up here at the front of the center and offering those, as we call them, 1-minute miracles, or just a brief prayer that will set things right for you. Is there another, have a great week? Yes.